Hi there! I'm going to show you how to make this ATC, and it's using a vintage image and using UTEE to create a cracked glass coating on top of her. So you can see the cracks there, and it's really shiny and glossy. So I'll show you how to make this ATC. First thing you do, I took a vintage image, and I'm going to take a little bit of stain, just a little walnut stain in a dauber cap, and I'm just going to edge it just to give it a little, just to finish off the edges a little bit. I've trimmed it down and now it looks a little more finished. I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and now I'm going to do a background card, and I'm going to rough it up with some distress ink in a color that kind of complements the image. And I'm using a very textured card so that I get a lot of open space. Okay, and so now that I've got that roughed up, what I'll end up doing is positioning this on the card like that. But first, I'm going to set that aside. First, I'm going to cover this with a medium and some UTEE. And so first I'm going to start with some medium. I'm going to use an iridescent medium just to make it a little more fun and shiny. And the medium is what helps the UTEE powder. UTEE stands for ultra thick embossing enamel. That's what helps it stick to the surface. And then we're going to use a heat gun to melt it. And we're going to continue to layer the UTEE on top until it gets nice and smooth. And then we crack it. So first we're going to take a little dab of my iridescent medium, and we're going to just quickly coat the picture with it. And want to be sure to get all the edges completely so that there's no missing pieces, so the UTEE sticks to everything. And then quickly I'm going to move it into my tray, and I'm going to cover it with the UTEE powder while it's still wet. And I'm going to just completely cover it. Then I'm going to take my tweezer and I'm going to pull it out. And I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to use my, I'm going to use my tweezer to hold it down. And let's start to melt the UTEE. And as it melts, it'll get really kind of glossy. And I usually start back a little further and then go in closer, so I don't want to burn it too much. And also when you're using a liquid medium like that, you might bubble it, so you don't want to do that. And UTEE dries, the first layer usually has a lot of little bumps in it. It kind of looks like an orange peel. And so to get it to smooth out, you just keep layering more UTEE on top. And while it's wet, it will stick to itself, so you don't have to add any more medium. So you'll be able to tell when it gets really glossy and there's no more sugary kind of look. And you'll know that it's really good and melted. So then I'm going to quickly put it back in my tray. And I'm going to pour more UTEE on top while it's wet. And you do kind of want to move quickly. And I'm going to cover it again. And I'm going to just do the same thing over again. Okay, so you can see how the UTEE didn't really stick in all the places. I didn't get very much in the center at all. So what I'm going to do is melt it again and try one more time. Let's see if I can't move a little faster while it's still really hot and get more UTEE to stick. Okay, ready? And I'm going to dip it in here. I'm just going to use my fingers, really cover it up. Okay, a lot more stuck this time. That's good. And we're going to do it again. I think I dipped my heat gun in the medium. That's funny. Okay, so with each layer of UTEE, it will get smoother and it will look a little less orange peely. So I'm going to do it one more time. Really put it on there. Take it out. Grab the heat gun that dropped on the floor. This is very casual filming, people. There's no editing. We don't need no stinking editors. We just keep on going. All right, so here's my heat gun. Let's melt some more. And I'll probably stop after this layer and hold it up for you to see how nice and glossy it got. And then, oh yeah, see, it's pretty smooth right now. I like it. I'm going to hold it up for you. See how nice and glossy and smooth it is? So it almost looks like she's behind glass. Really nice. So now I'm going to pop her in the freezer, and then after she's nice and cold, I'm going to crack her. Okay, so while we're waiting for the UTEE to cool down, and so we can crack it, we're going to decorate a little flower embellishment. This is just a paper flower. Comes in white, and you can spray paint it whatever you want. So I'm going to give it just a quick little mist of gold. Okay. And it's pretty nice and sparkly. So we're going to let that dry. Then I'm going to edge my backer card. Give it a nice little distressed edge. I'm going to rub kind of dark and kind of bring it in a little bit. Got medium on my finger. And kind of rough it up a little bit. Okay. So there we have nice dark edge. So I pulled her out of the freezer and she's curled a little bit, but I'm going to crack her straight. Alright, so see how that cracks? Hear it? And it cracks kind of like glass does, and it kind of sprays out a little bit. Can you see that? So I'm going to just make sure it's nice and straight and cracked however it needs to crack in order to straighten out. Very cool. So now I'm going to turn her over, apply some craft glue, and then position her on the card. I think I'll put her at an angle again. I kind of like that. And I'm going to just put a little freezer paper on top of her and use a brayer to really get her down. It's kind of fun working with a female image because you can speak about your work with pronouns like she and her. Anyway, so now she's all glued down like that. Now we're going to take our flower embellishment. I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, and I'm going to take one half and position it where I like it on the card. Add a little glue, craft glue to that. Position it right on the edge of the card. Press it down. So now I'm going to give it a little punch right through the card so that I can put a cute little brad in there. Here we go. There you go. Just as quick as you please. Cute little vintage ATC with a cracked glass. And it's also got a little extra shimmer because we used iridescent medium with the UTEE. And what a fun way to show off a pretty vintage picture. See you later.